Hi everyone, welcome back to Kinga's World. It's been a while again. I promised that I will be back and I'll be making videos, and this is what happens when I promise that I'll be back. I'm still surprised that that some of you still stay subscribed to this channel and still watch these videos or ask me to make videos. I myself, I hate the channels that are inconsistent, that they post and then they go quiet for weeks or months. But yeah, there's a few of you that are still watching me, so thank you. I really appreciate that. Just a quick update. I always feel like I said like just a quick update, but I will be back. So I'm not gonna promise you anything. For now, I'm just giving you a quick update. We just finished another cycle with Overlip, then Ovitrail, then Cyclogest, and we had yet another big fat negative. So this was our third cycle with stimulation with Overlip. We had 2 cycles with Clomid last year, and then we had 2 cycles with Overlip and then Ovitrail the end of last year, and I didn't have cycle for months. I think my last cycle, well, this cycle that I was on started beginning of this year. I'm seriously beginning of January, and then I didn't have any until now, which was really bad. So I've decided to have a little break, which was supposed to be a month or 2, which then turned into something really much longer. As you can imagine, we are in August right now. I went in February thinking that my next cycle was starting and we're going to go back and start things. It was like a false alarm, and I had the cyst on my right ovary, which is about 20 millimeters, not milliliters, 20 millimeters. And I've said, you know what, let's just wait, let's see when my next natural cycle will start, and let's see what's gonna happen. But then about a month ago, I've decided that I had enough of waiting, that we're either gonna try or we're going to just leave it completely. So I went to the clinic, so I called the clinic, went to the clinic, had my scan, turns out that my cyst was gone. So we did another cycle with Overlip. I thought I would have to take Provera to bring the bleed, so then I can start Overlip again. They said that there's just no need for that, so we just started straight away. So I was on Overlip 50 for about, I don't know, about a week and a bit, and it was really weird because the follicle was growing, but then it was, I think I had one day when the follicle was like 12, and then when I went 2 days later it was 10, and I think it happened like twice, that it was just some weird things were happening. My left ovary is super lazy, nothing like is ever going on. I mean, like something is growing, but they're just tiny and just not even worth mentioning really. So my right ovary was still fighting, and it turns out that I have managed, we increased, I think, to 75 for a few days, and not much was happening. So the last week we did 100, the injection of Overlip 100 dose, and it grew. And it was quite weird because I went, I think, on a Thursday or Friday, and the follicle was only about 13.5, something like that. And then when I went on a Monday, it was 21, something like that. So it was all ready to trigger. No, so it was, yeah, I'm mixing up the days. So whenever I went, it was ready to trigger. So we triggered, and we did lots of baby dancing, loads, and nothing actually happened. I was testing on Friday, and it came out negative. Called the clinic, they told me to test again today and call them tomorrow. My cycle actually started yesterday, so I'm gonna have to call them early on Monday morning to try to fit in for a scan for Monday afternoon or Tuesday. And we're gonna start it all over again. We're doing another cycle with Overlip and then Ovitrel and Cyclogest. This is our fourth cycle with this medication. I think we're gonna try for a few more, but I'm going to discuss it further when I go to the clinic. It was weird, this cycle, because I wasn't very hopeful at first. I just went like, oh, let's see what's gonna happen. I think having this quite a few months break was actually good for me, because I was very relaxed. I was like, what's gonna happen? Whatever's gonna happen is gonna happen. I have no influence over it. So so I went quite open-minded, quite relaxed. Then I have to obviously admit that once the follicle started to grow, at first I was very happy, very excited. I was like, yeah, it's actually happening, and maybe it will work this month. Then we had this really shocking news, because I never had a follicle that would get smaller. So I don't know if that other follicle disappeared, or it was or it shrunk and then grew. I don't know, because I had few follicles on the right, few on the left, as I said. So it was all a bit funny. So I went in. I had the situations before when I would go and the follicle would just not grow. Even this cycle at the beginning, I was going, and like, I think I was going every other day for the first week, and it was just, nothing was happening. It was just growing like less than millimeter. So to go there, and for the first time here, it's actually, you know, I can't see that 12 point something is now 10 point something. It was like shocking, and I was ready to just say, you know what, just chuck in the fucking bucket, we're just gonna leave it. But then decided to just keep going, and then it finally grew to the correct size. This is the first cycle that I can't say I'm 100% sure I ovulated, but I feel like I did. It's been like years since I know that I had like natural ovulation. Like, and I know some women said like you know when you ovulate. Some people say you can't feel that, whatever. I don't take my temperatures and check all those things, but in the past, when I had the cycles, when I ovulated, I had like little pain that you just feel there, and you're like, oh, I think that's what's happening. And that's what I had like 2 days after the Ovitrel. So I triggered on Wednesday, and on Friday, I'm pretty sure that's what happened on Friday, that I ovulated, which was quite nice to know that it actually happened. I'm pretty sure that, not pretty sure, I think that the previous cycle I did not ovulate, and I think that's where that cyst came from, that it was just a follicle that didn't burst, or whatever, didn't get not burst, sorry, didn't get released, because that can happen and they can turn into cysts. I think that that's what might have happened, because it was exactly the same size as the that one my follicle was when I was supposed to trigger, and it was on the same ovary. So I think that it might have been that. So I think it was successful cycle in a way that I reacted to the medication. I think I've ovulated, and then obviously it just didn't work. How am I feeling? This is the first cycle when I only felt like really sad for about a day, and I think why all my feelings were like heightened by the fact that I was taking Cyclogest pessaries, which they make me so emotional, so teary. So you know, I've just spent last week literally crying over watching any video or hearing any song and stuff like that. So and I had that. I started feeling on Wednesday that my period was coming. So on Thursday I just tested. I was like, I know Friday's a testing day, but I'm just gonna test today just to see, because I know my body, and any woman, I think, once you know that it's coming. So I tested on Thursday, it was negative, and obviously confirmed on Friday, and then confirmed again this morning. So when I called the clinic on Friday, they were like, yeah, it's still really early. Friday would be like the earliest day that you could test, but then test again to make sure on Sunday. So I tested today, but with obviously negative pregnancy test, and with my cycle starting yesterday. We just know that it didn't work this cycle. Am I sad? Of course I am sad. That means another unsuccessful month. And then I was really torn because I wasn't sure if I want to go back straight to it, or should I just give myself a little bit of break. But then I said to myself that I actually had a break. I had what, 8 months break. 7, because we started in July, so I had 7 months break with no meds, no nothing like that, and it's about time to start again. And I think if I just put it on, because my body is so unpredictable at the moment, I don't know when I will when I will get a next cycle. I might have one now, and then I might not have another one for months. So obviously I've decided, you know what, my body just decided to tell me the minute it was ready to test and it came negative, the cycle started, my body was like, you know what, I'm ready, so you have to be ready. So kind of listening to my body at the moment. I'm gonna call the clinic tomorrow morning, and if they squeeze me in tomorrow for an ultrasound, check if everything is okay, if there are no cysts, then we're gonna start overlip from tomorrow. If not, I'm gonna go on Tuesday, so we're gonna start overlip again this week, and I'm gonna start all over again. One thing they've agreed with me, they said that they will start me on a higher dose instead of starting me again on a 50, which did nothing really in that first week that I was taking overlip, and they've agreed that maybe we're not going to jump straight to 100 because it is a quite high dose, but we will start from 75. So hopefully I will not have like almost 3 weeks of taking injections every day, because it was painful and it was annoying and I felt like really rubbish. So we're gonna try again with a higher dose. So hopefully this time it will be a bit quicker. Hopefully within the next couple of weeks I will be ready to trigger. Fingers crossed. Am I going to do anything differently this cycle? I don't know. I think I will try to exercise a bit more. As I've said in these videos previously, I've gained a bunch of weight since I started this fertility treatment. I've lost so much weight, like 3 stone a bit, to start fertility treatment, and then I've started it and the weight just seems to be just going up and up and up, partly because of the side effects of all these meds, and partly because I've been feeling so crap. After taking them, I just had no energy or motivation to go to the gym. I've joined the gym just before we started this last cycle, and I went quite a few times, and then side effects of overlip started, and all I wanted, it was my bed and go to sleep. And the last 2 weeks on Cyclogest, I'm alright till about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and then I just want to go to bed and sleep, and I feel sore, my breast hurts, so I can't really move. There's nothing there for me than thinking about going on the treadmill when I will have to go like this and just try not to move my boobs too much. Too much information, I know, but if you've been on Cyclogest, I think you will know what I'm talking about. So I think what I'm gonna do this cycle, obviously, I'm gonna try to go back to the gym as much as I can for at least for those first 2 weeks when I still feel alright. I will try to obviously eat healthier this cycle, because the last cycle I was not really super healthy. Well, I was for the first 2 weeks, then again I just didn't feel like cooking and stuff. So that's all I can do really, just eat healthy and exercise. That's all I can do for my body, and the rest will have to be done by the medication, I guess. So yeah, that's my update. I'm sorry that I have been missing in action. I'm not gonna promise that I will be here a lot, because most probably you will hear again from me next cycle. Hopefully with hopefully with positive this time, as I'm tired of those negative updates. I would like one of those videos when I'm like, I have a huge announcement, and then I show you the test with 2 lines. Instead of adding to my collection of tests with big fat negatives with 1 line. But you'll never know. Am I going to make other videos? I would love to say I will, but I just don't know. I have moments when I feel good, and I have moments when I feel like really crap and I don't have energy to do anything. So yeah, wish me luck, guys, starting all over tomorrow. This will be our cycle number 6 with medication. How am I feeling about it? Excited. I wouldn't say I'm super excited. I would say that I'm just open-minded, going into it with an open mind and hoping for the best. And I know that it's only a few more tries before we start looking into IVF, which is scary. And I have nothing against IVF. I told you many times, I know that this most probably going to be the road that we'll have to go through. I just know about like amount of medication you have to take. I complain about the injections with Overlip and once a month Ovitrel to trigger, and a little bit of progesterone, Presaris, and I know that amount of meds on in vitro, if you go on IVF cycle, it's just so much bigger. So that's what is a bit overwhelming for me. But for now, I'm just gonna focus on hoping that we will manage to get pregnant with just Overlip. Fingers crossed for us. Fingers crossed for all of you that are still trying and still watching this channel. Thanks for still being here, and thanks for checking up on me on Instagram. Take care, and I see you soon. Oh, soon-ish.